Alrighty, it's week 3 for Zander the Water Monitor. As you can see over here, I was clipping the bad boy's nails because he was getting pretty sharp, and I was cutting myself up. If you can't tell by my hands, that is pretty typical day, just getting scratched up by the big guy. But you gotta trim them, you gotta make sure that they're good to go. He's just been chilling in the water, and I fed him a little bit ago. What I've been feeding him recently, I went ahead and picked this up. Instinct Raw. This one, I've tried the duck formula before. This one's a new one. It's the rabbit formula. Each one of these is about 40 bucks a pop, so it's a little bit, pricey. I mean, depending on how much money you want to start spending on them whenever they're only, 7-8 months old. But in general, I mean, he loves it. I've never given him food that he didn't like. And every time I put him in the water, I make sure that I'm touching every part of him, so he doesn't really care, that he gets used to. There's nothing off limits. So when he gets bigger, then he'll love it whenever we pet him. He's full size, he's just chilling, watching TV with us, then that'll be a really good experience. So anyway, he's just chilling for now. Let's go check out his cage. I told you week 3 was going to be about his cage. So right now, this is what the little monster's been living in for the last 7.5 months. Got a 6.5 foot cage up top. This little guy right here does about, it hardly does any heat at all. I'm gonna say it's only a 50 watt. It's more for nutrients and just the brightness in the cage. Every now and then he'll come up here, he'll rest his head on this, and his tail will, fall all the way down here, or he'll lay back here if he wants. Just for kind of chilling. It's not really much of a basking spot. He just likes to go up there for heat every now and then. This is the major heater of the cage. It's a 250 watt bulb. Right here, tons of heat. So this is mainly where he basks. He did that a lot when he was younger. In the last month, he doesn't spend too much time there. He spends a little bit more time in his second basking spot. This is only a 150 watt bulb. You can still feel the heat pretty well. A little bit lower to where the water is, not so much, but the water is substantially warmer than just lukewarm. So that's pretty nice. He can bask in there. He can soak in there as well. So that's his third light. And then down here, we just got his chill spot. Whenever he was younger, I used to have a cardboard box down there, and he kind of outgrew it and he doesn't really use it anymore. I have his main bowl. So this one, he spends most of his time and he sleeps in there almost every single day. It's a little bit dirty, but I clean it once a day. Always having fresh water. There's only about 1.5 inches of water right now. Typically I'll have it about 4 inches deep, so he can really soak up. He sleeps in the water all the time. And then down here it looks pretty lame. I used to have a lot of mulch in the bottom, and I kept it out because this is an open hinge. I had cardboard to seal it off, and I duct taped it in there so it sealed it in. He could go in, he could dig if he wanted to, but in all reality he didn't really ever dig, and it was more of a pain. I put like heating cables in the bottom to warm up the mulch if he wanted to, but he just rarely ever went down there. So at this point he goes down there just to have fun because he likes to explore all the time. But that's basically the cage setup. This one just locks in here. Nothing really locks on this cage. That's kind of interesting, the way that this guy built it, but it was a great first cage. So that just clamps in. And then here for the doors, we got magnets. So the cool thing is, it's glass doors. I can see inside the cage at all times, so he's always fun to look at. I do it that way, so that way whenever he's looking out at me or anybody else in the apartment that comes to visit, he's constantly seeing people, so he's getting more used to them. And we're always creating good experiences. But recently he's been getting big enough and strong enough where he can push open the doors. So soon I'm gonna have to build him a noon cage. I've been having to lock him recently. I like put ties on him in between. What's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? So yeah, that's his cage basically. He's been living there for a while. But right now, this is just what he does all the time. He loves the water. If I have this running, which I typically do, most of the time I'll fill up the water about 1/3 of the way, so he really likes to actually go down and swim. He'll put his head directly underneath where those spouts coming out, which is always entertaining. But yeah, so that is week 3 for Zander the Water Monitor. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.